So in my previous video, I was talking about, what was it, Zechariah 9, and how the Knesset, the Prime Minister of Israel, will never, and I mean they will never be willing to do what has to be done to deport. Yes, I said deport the Lebanese out of Tyre and Zidon or out of Lebanon, and they will not be willing to deport the Philistines, Palestinians from Judea, Samaria, and Gaza. They will not do it. That a dictator, a king, has to do it. And I pointed out how King David in 2 Samuel 8, how he went about taking the land that belonged to Israel, that was promised to Israel in Joshua 1 verses 1 through 4. He went and he took it. And he did things in those days that democracies and representative republics around the world would categorically condemn. He did it. And I also maintain that the Son of David, Messiah, Yehoshua is his name, he will do exactly as David did. And I'm thinking maybe I should go ahead and go back to Bible Hub once again. And, let's go ahead and do screen share before I forget. And we'll go to 2 Samuel 8 again, just to refresh. This chapter is about King David's triumphs. Verse 1, and after this came to pass that David smote the Philistines, aka the Palestinians, and subdued them. And David took Methegama out of the hands of the Philistines, that is their largest city. He took it from them. He dispossessed it from them. And he smote Moab. Moab, those are Jordanians today. And measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground. Even with 2 lines measured, he put to death, and 1 full line to keep alive. In other words, he lay down. He forced them all to lie down on their faces in 3 lines. And he killed 2 of the 3 lines and left the 3rd line remaining. And so the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts. He reduced their numbers by 1/3. You'll never, I'm telling you, you will not see this happen with a prime minister and a Knesset. But you will see it happen with the son of David. And David also smote Hadadezer, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah. And he went to recover his border at the river Euphrates. Now, you know what would happen, folks. You know, and I know what would happen if the Israeli government today tried. They won't do it. They're afraid. Why are they afraid? Because they are under the thumb of Rome. What is Rome? Rome is all of Europe and the ships of Tarshish. What is that? All of Europe and the United States. They are under the thumb of all of Europe, the United States, and Russia. Will not allow it. But Messiah, son of David, will do it. He is going to do it, my friends. And then David, Um, and when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadadezer, son of Zobath, came to help him out, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men, and David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus. So what is son of David going to do? He is going to do just like David did, and he's going to put Damascus under his thumb. The world is not going to tolerate that, folks. The Knesset and the Prime Minister of Israel know this, and therefore they will not do this. They will not, I'm telling you. But the son of David will. And the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts. And Jehovah preserved David wheresoever he went. You see. Okay, so I'm setting up the let's see. He put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom, he put garrisons. And all they of Edom became David's servants. And Jehovah preserved David wherever he went. And David reigned over all Israel. And David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. And Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was over the armies. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was recorder. Okay. So this is how David expanded his kingdom. This is how the son of David is going to expand his kingdom. The world will not tolerate it. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the response is going to be? We read, let's see, take the cup out of your hand. I don't know if I'm chasing something. Okay, no. I have to look for it later. What am I looking for now? Let's just go straight to Zechariah 12, shall we? So, as I'm going to title this particular video, new evidence of shocking new evidence of the Lamb written in the prophets. Okay, this is at a time when Jerusalem is attacked. The burden of the word of Jehovah for Israel, saith Jehovah, who stretched forth the heavens and lays the foundation of the earth and formed the spirit of man within him. Now, folks, I want you to look at these words very, very, very carefully. So he's doing this for Israel, okay? For Israel. That's all the tribes of Israel. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling for all the people round about. Yep, round about. When they shall be in the siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. Does it say Israel? No, because he's doing this for all Israel, not just for Judah and Jerusalem. He's going to bring them around Judah and Jerusalem. And in that day, I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone, that very same stone that's written about in Daniel 2. That smites, that this stone strikes the 10 toes. Jerusalem will be that stone. For all people that burden themselves with it shall be cut to pieces. Everyone. Well, everyone has burdened themselves with it, folks. Everyone. Including the United States, unfortunately. So all the people of the earth, why are they gathered together against it? I'm going to explain it now. Now I have figured something out here. Took me a long time. And the reason why it took so long to figure this out, because the translators deliberately have deceived the masses. Deliberately. In that day, says Jehovah, I will smite every horse with astonishment. What does that word say? It says crane. Crane is a bird, right? Let me show you something. Swallow, swift type of a bird. So these fighter planes that are going to be coming in are going to be smitten with astonishment, and their riders with insanity. And I will open my eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every fighter plane of the Gentiles with blindness. Their equipment will fail in midair and come crashing to the ground. And the Lamb of Judah shall say in his heart. What, you say that doesn't say lamb? You say it says governors. Remember I told you that the translators deliberately deceived the masses who read the Bible. Not only King James Version, but many of the others as well. Governors. 441 aloof in Hebrew. What does it mean? It means tame. Tame? The tame of Jerusalem? Really? Okay, look at the very first meaning. You see that? What do you see? What is that word right there? Oh, a lamb. A docile, gentle lamb. What does number 2 mean? A friend. Like a woman's husband. Well, who's going to be the husband of Jerusalem? Well, Jerusalem is going to be the Messiah, the bride of the Lamb. The Lamb. Look, let me show you something, folks. The Lamb's wife. What did I just... it was right there in front of me. Revelation 21 and verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come here, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife. Verse 10, and he carried me away in the spirit to a great high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending, coming down out of heaven, out of the sky. This Jerusalem is the Lamb's wife. So not only have we found in Zechariah 12 that the word that they replaced deliberately is actually the Lamb, the husband of Jerusalem. Can you believe what we just learned today? I dare you to take that to your preacher. So let's look at it one more time. And the Lamb of Judah shall say in his heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem strength in Jehovah of hosts, their Elohim. In that day I will make the Lamb of Judah like a hearth of fire among the wood, and a torch of fire in a sheath, and not they, he will devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. Now, if Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Iran are on the right hand, who's on the left? Europe, Egypt, North Africa. So all the nations round about includes Europe. So once again, I'm going to go to this word. This word, the Lamb. The second definition of a woman's husband. The husband of Judah. Folks, come on. Come on. Stop being deceived. Stop listening to your preacher. Just stop it. He's taking your money and he's telling you lies. I'm taking what I learned here and giving it to you free. Why? Because it was given to me free. Free of charge. This to me, I just learned this today, folks. Now, and Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in East Jerusalem. So you see, folks, Jerusalem is not inhabited in her place yet. It's obvious. Who is it that's living in East Jerusalem? Mostly Arabs. The nations, including the United States, will not allow Israel, will not allow the Jews to have their capital in East Jerusalem. Therefore, this Jerusalem proclamation by the United States is a farce. It's a farce. This Donald Trump Jerusalem proclamation is a farce because what he really means is West Jerusalem. So this will only happen when the Lamb appears, the Messiah, the husband of the Jews, the husband of Jerusalem. Jehovah shall save the tents of Judah first, so that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. No, yes. This is why where it is written that when they come and surround Jerusalem, that they're going to take East Jerusalem, drive all the Jews out of East Jerusalem, and then the Great War in Jerusalem. But these are how is it? These are as one event right after another. What appears to be happening when you read Joel 3 and you read Zechariah 9, the war in Syria happens first. The war in Damascus and Hadrach, Tyre and Zidon in Gaza happens first. And Joel 3 backs it up. And then that triggers all the nations that come round about. That's what it triggers. But Messiah will be there. He will already be there. And then it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. Why are they coming against Jerusalem? Because the king of Israel, the king of the Jews, the dictator, is going to take the land that belongs to him. And I will pour out upon the house of David. The house of David, that's the Messiah. And upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the spirit of grace. Yes, grace is going to come to the Jews, you Christians, whether you like it or not. And of supplications, and they shall look, and okay, now, here we go. They shall look, not upon me, upon the one who they pierced. Upon me you don't see that. They didn't pierce God. They didn't pierce the Father. They didn't pierce Jehovah. They pierced the Messiah. And they shall mourn, to wail and to lament, for an only son was solitary one, solitary child, only son. Where are they going to do this? Where? You want to know where? In the valley of Megiddo. That's right. They're going to weep for him in the valley of Megiddo because he just saved all of them from destruction. In the valley of Megiddo. That's where they are going to weep for him. And the land shall mourn. Every family, not apart. That word apart, well, let's see. Every family, separation, separately. Every family separately. All right? When I say not apart, I'm going to show you something where the apart doesn't apply. And the family of the house of David, that's and not and their wives. Wait a minute. Okay, it does, and their wives. There's another word. I'm sorry, I don't mean to confuse people. So the house of David and their wives. Oh, and the clans. This was the word I was looking for. Mishpach. Pasha, okay, Mishpasha or Mishpacha. So the house of David, their wives, and their clans, their Mishpasha, Pasha. Of the house of Nathan, their wives, and their wives, the house, and the clan, the Mishpashach, of the house of Levi and their wives, not apart. It says, and their wives. The family of Shimei and their wives, and all the families that remain, every family, every wife, and the word apart is not there. So they're all going to come to the valley of Megiddo. Because there's going to be all these dead bodies there. The Messiah stopped the invasion. The Messiah is going to be there, folks. It is written. The Messiah, the Lamb. There it is, folks. The Lamb, right here. And the translators hid it from you. And your preachers should have known They take your money. They are obligated to show you this, and they have not done so. Who among the preachers is going to tell this to you? Who is going to alert you to this? Has anybody done it? Has anybody alerted you to this truth? You can answer the question yourself. So there you have it, folks. And I'm not charging you a dime.